welcome to our aging puzzle. I'm your host, Corlette Deveaux. This is the second week of April, and we welcome you to our show. Remember, our show is about aging and how it affects all of us. We will continue to have the same conversations with our guests. Our guests come from all walks of life that are going through something, and we all are living our life, and we all go through something. And so our guests will be here to share with you things that just happen in life. Our guests are seniors, they may be young folks, they may be middle-aged people, but they will have stories that will certainly inspire you. We want to continue to bring stories that will not just bring tears to your eyes, but will make you laugh, that will inspire you, and that will give you valuable insights on various topics and health problems and just ways to live a healthier, longer life. We want to inspire you. So stay tuned for this month's show that's going to be an inspiration and also provide education and hope for those with autism. We know that April is Autism Awareness and Acceptance Month. So this month, we will focus on increasing awareness and providing a deeper understanding of autism. We are thrilled to have back again our guest, VerTongie Kendrix Bailey. Remember, she was here last week and she started to share her story. She is the mother of a son with autism. She is amazing and she is passionate about helping those with autism. She knows firsthand what it's like because, as I mentioned, she is the mother of a son with autism. His name is Hezekiah. She will share her personal experiences and provide valuable insights that will help us all better understand life with autism through her own experience. Remember, every month we share insights with one guest. We have one guest every single week for the entire month. And the reason we have that is because our guests take you through their journey week after week. Last week, VerTongie talked about a parent's feelings having a child with autism. This week, she will talk about the struggles and growing up with autism. She will share what her son went through growing up with autism. Next week, she will focus on autism in college because, yes, you can go to college if you have autism. She will share that with us. And the last week, she will talk about thriving with autism. Yes, that is possible. And we are thrilled to bring you her story of inspiration. Now it's time to share with you our aging facts. During the month of April, there's a lot of emphasis on the challenges faced by autistic people everywhere. So, for example, what is autism spectrum disorder? Well, it is a complex neurological and developmental condition that affects various aspects of a person's life, including how they communicate, their interactions, learning, and their behavior. It's often identified by difficulties in social communication and interaction, along with restrictive and repetitive behaviors. But you know what? Despite these challenges, individuals with ASD possess unique strengths, such as an amazing memory retention and proficiency in specific subjects like math, science, music, or art. Now, the exact causes of ASD remain unclear, and research suggests a combination of genetic and environmental factors. Early diagnosis and intervention are critical for individuals with autism. They need to receive the support and services that are tailored specifically to their needs. Now, diagnosis typically involves a two-stage process, starting with developmental screening during well-child checkups, followed by a comprehensive evaluation by a multidisciplinary team of healthcare providers. The diagnostic evaluation may include medical examinations, cognitive and language assessments, behavioral observations, and discussions with caregivers about the child's development. When it is detected early, it enables caregivers to access appropriate treatments, therapies, and educational programs that can significantly improve outcomes for individuals with autism. And we want to promote awareness, understanding, and early intervention. We can create more inclusive environments if we do these things. We want folks, adults, children with autism to be inclusive, to be welcomed, and we want them to thrive and achieve their full potential. Now it's time to welcome our very special guest today. We are thrilled to introduce our special guest again for the second week, VerTongie Kendrix Bailey. Her story and journey are one of determination and advocacy, fueled by her love for her two sons, Zachariah and Hezekiah. She has a strong educational background from institutions like Davenport University, Central Michigan University, and Grand Canyon University. And she actually holds degrees in business administration, human resources, and she is currently pursuing a master's in special ed with aspirations for a PhD in behavioral health one day. She has faced challenges raising her son, Hezekiah, who's living with autism, but she's here today to share her story and inspire someone out there, to give them hope. She is inspired to help others in her community. And as a parent liaison for the Children with Special Needs Foundation, she is helping and contributing to increasing awareness every day. She's also a member of a few boards of organizations that are advocating for youth and families with autism. VerTongie, she is an amazing woman. Her personal journey led her to establish Hezekiah's Kids, Inc., which is a nonprofit dedicated to empowering parents and communities to support children with autism and other disabilities. Through education and outreach, she aims to break down barriers and provide resources for children to thrive and reach their full potential, just like her son Hezekiah. Her mission is to instill hope and confidence in children with autism. Please join me in welcoming this phenomenal, amazing mother, VerTongie, to our show. This woman has devoted her life, and she has been nominated as a contender for the Humanities Champion of the Year by Michigan Humanities Award because of her dedication, her commitment, and her advocacy. Please join me. Welcome, VerTongie. Welcome back for the second week, VerTongie. How are you?
I am doing well. I'm doing great. I'm looking forward to the second segment. Looking forward to explaining my story and my son's story and the struggles and what we've gone through as a mom.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here and shedding light on autism and your struggles and the challenges and the joys that you have. Last week, we had such a warm and engaging conversation about the emotional journey of raising your child, like your wonderful Hezekiah, who's living with autism. It deeply touched my heart to listen to your personal stories with Hezekiah. He is truly an inspirational young man, honestly, really courageous, taking on all of the challenges of autism step by step and showcasing remarkable resilience. You told me about him. He's fantastic. But we know there's always more. It is uplifting to learn about your nonprofit center,
Mm-hmm.
um, Hezekiah Kids, and how it's creating a positive impact. And it's making this impact through educating and empowering parents and then the wider community in the Detroit area. And with April being Autism Acceptance Month, it is a crucial time to focus on acceptance as a whole and understanding. So it is with conversations that we're having like this one between you and I, where you're talking openly about the joys and the challenges and the struggles that you're experiencing with your son. It's going to help people understand what you're going through, but also help them if they're going through something similar. So we appreciate that, and we know that this may not be as easy as people think, but you're here and you are helping people and you're doing a fantastic job. for sure.
Thank you. You want to know some of the struggles that we've gone through? I would tell parents, don't leave the child at home. Absolutely don't leave the child at home. Take them out so that they become accustomed. And it's a slow, gradual process. And then there are a lot of times where I may go to events and I have to explain to family, relatives, friends, I can come to the event. I'm either going to be late, I'm either going to come early, I have to leave. So I have to explain to people, when you have a child with special needs, it's not that you're neglecting them, not that you don't want to be a part of their celebrations, but you know what your child can tolerate. My child, he probably can tolerate 2.5 hours over 5 hour celebration. So I may come at 8, leave at 9, may come at 9, which is later, and leave at 9:30. It's all about the child. Just letting them know I still love you, but right now, mommy has to take care of mommy. I have to do what's in the best interest of my child. We're showing support, we're showing love. So it's those things of letting people know that you want to appreciate them, but you have to take into consideration the parent has a child with special needs, and they have to be on the time schedule. They have to be on the restraint, and they have to consider the way the child may affect your event. So I wouldn't want Hezekiah to be someplace and he has a meltdown. So I would take him when he at a calm moment after I've given him his medicine, and just have him to be completely calm. And I can watch his tendencies and know, well, okay, it's time to leave. So those are a lot of parts that we have to play as a mom of a child living with special needs.
You said you can't leave him alone. Tell us about that. So, how old is Hezekiah right now?
Hezekiah right now, he's 18 years old. So he's gotten a lot better. He's gotten a lot better from 8 to 18. He wants to go to places, but at 8 years old, no, mommy, I'd rather stay at home. He wanted to stay at home, but he wanted to be included.
Right, absolutely. So, when you say you couldn't leave him at home, tell us about that. Why couldn't you leave him at home? Because it's important for families to know if they can't leave their child at home, why is it? What are some of the things that you were concerned about leaving him at home? So help
Well,
us.
I wanted to, if I left him at home, I wanted to make sure that there was someone at home, like my parents or his dad or somebody, my siblings, that knew him, that were accustomed to him. So I wouldn't just leave him with anybody, like his brothers or anything. They would take good care of him, but you have to make sure that somebody's there to be patient with him, that he doesn't harm himself or harm anybody around him, that he doesn't have a meltdown. He used to be a runner. So I used to be afraid that he would leave the house and people not paying attention to him. So I want him to be cared for in good hands. Is that a parent living with a child with autism, so they understand my pain and my things I have gone through. A child with autism, some kids may run, some kids may. You just never know what their personality or what may be going through their mind.
Let's elaborate on runner. When you say runner, you're not talking about being an athlete. You're talking about running away.
Yes, he would run away. Like, just so happened, and it was a blessing, but not a blessing. It was a blessing, but maybe not in an aspect that I want. He went to school in the building in which I worked. As one day happened to look out the door, he was running down the hall, and the aide was chasing him. I'm like, oh my God. So if something didn't go his way, he would run. And that used to really, really scare me. I'm like, okay, well, I'm in this building for a reason working. So I used to try to tell him, please do not run outside the building. So there was a device called Angel Sense, which the lady shared with a parent. And this was how you need to talk to other parents to get resources. She said, well, you can get an Angel Sense, and if he goes out of the location in which he's supposed to be, it will alert your phone. I said, okay, we'll try that. So we tried that. So if he were running somewhere, my phone would alert. So if he left the building or tried to attempt the building, my phone would be alerted. So that was an aspect, and that used to really, really scare me. But as he got older, he grew out of that because he wanted to be like his bigger brother. Mom, Zach can sit in class, so I think I'm gonna try to learn to sit in class because they attended the same school in elementary. And so the school that my son went to, Ludington, ended up being down the street from where I worked. So he said, well, Mom, Zachariah sits in class and you don't have to follow him around. I want to be like that. So he started to pattern his life after Zach. Because kids with autism, they really watch what you do. He's on a time schedule. He's like the movie Forrest Gump. I don't know if you remember that movie.
Yes.
He can give you dates and times of everything. He said, Mama, Zachariah sat down in his class on such and such date at such and such time. He didn't get up. I want to be like that one day. Mama, Zachariah said at the movies on such and such day. He stayed the whole movie. I want to be like that. So he started to notice those things.
Right.
So I tell people, kids with special needs, they want to have friends. They also want to have outings, but they may not know how to relate that to the caregiver, the parent, the grandparent, the aunt, the friend, or the educator. But they want those same things that other kids have.
So, that's interesting. So with the struggles that you were talking about, and you have Hezekiah who wants to do these things. He wants the social event. He wants to have friends. He wants to do all of these things. How was he able to communicate with you and your family about his needs and his wants with regards to socialization and making friends? How was he able to communicate that to you?
He was nonverbal in the beginning, but as being around his brother, he had three older brothers from his dad's previous marriage. So they were always with him. So he began to talk words, and then eventually he said, "Well, Mom, I want to be like Zachariah." I said, "Well, how is that, Hezekiah?" Mom, he have other kids. Other kids, like how? Well, other kids that he played with. I said, okay. So he wanted those same things, and he wanted to be able to go those places as watching him. So he communicated it by showing me or drawing a picture or pointing. Then as he became more verbal, vocal, I understood that he has autism, but he also wants these things um, for himself.
The same things that everyone wants. He wants the same thing. So
Mm-hmm.
that's a really good point to share. People who with autism, anyone, we all need the same thing. We all want love, companionship, socialization. We want to enjoy life. It doesn't matter if you're if you're special needs or not. We all want the same things. And I appreciate you saying that because that's something to point out for people out there with children or family members with autism. They want exactly what you want. They just communicate it differently.
When he became 9, 10, he became embarrassed of people knowing that he had autism.
Mm,
So he didn't want me to even tell people he had autism because he became aware of that he was different.
mm.
We never treated him differently. We just shortened the times that he would be in places. So I'm going to tell parents, now he's advocating at 18, but at 8 and 9, when he understood what it was, he was
Right.
embarrassed of it.
Oh, wow. And how did he overcome that embarrassment? What did you do something, or did he just overcome it over time?
He overcame it over time. I think through middle school, he was embarrassed that he was in a special ed classroom. His brother was in a regular classroom. And then when he got to high school, they embraced it because he wasn't contained to one classroom. They let him be in the general population at the high school he attended. And then as he graduated, he's learning to advocate for himself. So it went from him not knowing what he had to knowing that he was different to mom, please don't tell anybody I have autism. And now he's okay. I had autism. My mom had to do this, this, and this. I used to want to do this, this, and this. Now I'm doing this. And so the parents have to really um, be in tune to what their kids want. He said, I used to have a hard time making friends. Now I talk about what I went through and I'm making friends.
Oh, that's awesome. That's fantastic. Wow. Share a pivotal moment for me or experience that helped you and Zachariah shape his sense of identity and self-acceptance. How did that come about? Because that's what you really just said. He has embraced it and now he's no longer embarrassed. He's now using it as a platform. So,
I remember there was one event. My son, he always traveled with Zachariah and whatever sport he played. Well, we were at this one particular high school, and my son's school was the visiting school. So they were feeding the football team. And the lady said she didn't know his guy had autism. So he went up to grab some food off the table, and she insisted, no, put it back. You can't have anything. And I was very embarrassed. I thought Zachariah was going to be embarrassed. That's okay. That's okay. You just embarrass your brother in front of his teammates. But those teammates, they were like, we won't eat until he eats.
wow.
So that was a moment where I said, people really care about him. They really care about his feelings.
Yeah, they do.
So the entire team stepped back and said, he's our teammate's brother. Feed him first and then we'll eat. I thought the team was gonna say, okay, well, we're gonna eat, but that gave me a sense of hope, a sense of people caring, and it just really made my day. There is still does something to me to this day to know that they actually realized this was their teammate's brother and he was different. So for them to embrace that and the parents to embrace that, the other team, I know they felt some kind of way. So the one mom, she said, well, he's always at all the games and the practices. He does have autism, so he's not aware because we feed him with the team. So it just made me know that people out there have a caring heart and that they have a caring heart.
Yes, they do. What a fantastic story. You're bringing tears to my eyes. Fantastic story.
I'm trying not to have tears in my eyes. I was just didn't know that was going to happen.
Yes.
As a mom, you're thinking people are going to isolate your baby because he is different.
Mm-hmm.
But at that moment, okay, they really do love their teammate and his brother.
Wow.
And they were able to accept he's different.
Yes. That's fantastic. What an amazing story. What an amazing story. And with that story, we're going to wrap up our session for today. But I feel so awesome that story is a story of hope and a story of understanding. And it's a story of acceptance and love. His teammates embraced him. Your son's teammates embraced his brother. And they made him feel good and feel comfortable. That's a fantastic story. And I hope it brings inspiration to others out there, knowing that people are going to accept it. People are going to love and care and support. So
thank you so much for having me. Thank you for allowing me to share my story. I just really want to empower other parents. I even want to empower the community on how to handle kids with disabilities. And I just want to empower youth that have disabilities. There is hope. It's going to take time.
That is amazing. Thank you so much. And next week, we will have a conversation transitioning from autism and college week. That is what we will talk about next week. See you then. Thank you so much, VerTongie.
Thank you.
Inspirational story with you and your son. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Absolutely, absolutely amazing. Thank you again, VerTongie. Thank you, thank you. Love you. Now let's talk about habits to live longer and live better. And again, every week we say the same thing because we want you to do this so that you can live a longer and healthy life. Remember, proper diet is important. Exercising regularly, reducing your stress, and going out there and socializing with others. These 4 things will have a positive impact on your overall health and well-being. So go ahead, live longer, and live better. Now, this month, the month of April, is Autism Acceptance Month, and this holds a significant importance that cannot be underestimated. It stands as a strong, vibrant call for inclusivity and unity, a call that echoes in the hearts of many, rallying all of us to embrace diversity and difference. It is a time when we as a society focus on the autistic community, recognizing the unique challenges they often encounter in various aspects of life, such as education, work, and even in their day-to-day activities. Achieving inclusivity, like the inspiring life of VerTongie and Hezekiah's remarkable success, they show us that you can thrive in so many ways. If you have autism or know someone who does, include them, bring them into the fold, love them. They are special, but they are human. And we want them to feel included, and we want them to be a part of our daily life and our community. We want to rally together as one, united in a common cause to help those with autism be included. We want to have a collective voice that rings out declaring, let's tailor our world to fit everyone. For more information, go to autismsociety.org If you want to learn more about autism and how you can help, we encourage you to go and help to make this an inclusive world. Our aging puzzle is sponsored by Remember To. Remember To is a revolutionary AI-driven platform for seniors to help them stay safe, stay connected with their loved ones, and live independently. To learn more about Remember To, you can visit their website at remember2.ai. That is remember the number 2.ai. Remember2.ai. Again, thank you so much to our special guest, VerTongie Bailey, for being our inspiring and amazing guest and an amazing mother. We will see you next week. Thank you for joining. Voila.
I'm Kevin Harrington, an original shark from Shark Tank. DG Incorporated provides coaching services